today's topic for our meeting today on Facebook and Instagram is going to be all about how having a goal can really set up the rest of your life and your career. So if you are playing without a goal right now, I'm going to have you think about that, because think about this. If your team is in pursuit of a championship and every single decision you make as a team is there so you guys can win a championship, you're going to tend to make better decisions. And that goes with whether it's a team goal or a personal goal too. So let's say your personal goal is to hit number 3 in the lineup. If your personal goal is to hit number 3 in the lineup, your parents should obviously know about it. Your closest teammates should know about it so that they can hold you accountable to make sure that you're doing and making the right decisions so you can actually be in pursuit of that and to make that goal happen for you. So when you're in pursuit of something bigger than yourself, you tend to play better, you tend to be a better teammate, you tend to do all these things that just make, life in general just better because you're in pursuit of something. That's today's topic. And we're going to get really deep into that topic today. But basically, having a goal changes your life. It changes your perception. It changes your just everything in the most positive way. And here today, I'm going to actually describe to you why that is and why it's important to have a goal, not only for yourself, but for your team. Because when you guys all have a goal, it's much clearer how you're going to live out your day. All right. So if any of you feel like, maybe at practices, you're kind of just there and you don't really have a goal in mind and you're kind of just, fielding ground balls, not really loving it, not really loving the process of fielding ground balls or hitting in the backyard, or not really loving the process or the grind, people say. If you're not loving that, then maybe you don't have something big that's bigger than yourself that you want to achieve. A lot of times this is just how our brain works. So if we're not we're not thinking about something bigger than ourselves, we'll tend to play smaller and not play with as much passion, and could actually probably find burnout sooner than those who have goals. So those who have clear and precise and concise goals, they're going to practice harder. They're going to elevate those people around them more, and they're going to live a life that, other people are probably going to be envious of. Doesn't that sound amazing to live a life to where not people are envious of, but that you are living your life so passionately and so you just love it so much, like even on the days that are hard. And if you can always exemplify that, you are truly, someone that other people are probably going to look up to and want to try to play in that way. 100% is giving me some hearts. Thanks, 100%. You guys are awesome. But if you're one of those people that's like, I kind of show up to practice and just go through the motions, and, I don't really want to hit in the backyard after dinner, or I just don't play with as much passion as I used to. Maybe it's simply because you don't have a goal. And honestly, you are not the only one that, if you're feeling this way, you're not the only one that feels this way. So many people feel this way. And today's live is to help remind you of how a goal can really change your life. And even if it's a small goal, it's still something that you're in pursuit of, and you're going to live a better life because you're in pursuit of it. So this is where some people, when I ask them, what's your goal? What type of goals do you have? And some people right away are just like, well, I want to be the number 3 hitter for my team. And then I say, okay, well, where do you hit right now? And they go, oh, I hit number 3 right now. And I'm like, you can't have a goal if you're already living it. You know what I mean? Like you can't have a goal that you've already accomplished. You've already checked that off your list. It's time to look for something bigger and better. So maybe if your first goal was to hit 3 in the lineup and you're there, well, maybe now your goal should be the most consistent hitter on your team. That's a pretty tough goal to be able to have. Consistency basically means, whether you have people on base or people in scoring position or not, you're hitting well and you're hitting them in, and you're getting on base and you're doing your job. And your teammates in the dugout can really rely on you to make some great things happen. So honestly, if that, let's say that's a goal that you have for yourself, well, that's pretty spectacular. And if you have a goal like that in mind, think about it. You have that goal in mind to be the most consistent hitter on your team. You're willing to outwork everybody in the room that may also be consistent, but you want to perform better than that. You have inside you something better. And, being around people that are going to push you, being around people that are maybe better than you in some aspect, they're actually elevating you. And that's what you want. You want to be around other people that also have goals for yourselves. And that's the thing about having a goal. It's, you should not keep your goal to yourself. You know, there are some goals that, like, yes, very, very few people should know what those goals are. But there are also some team goals that everybody needs to be a part of and needs to be reminded. So I know a lot of coaches actually hang out on these lives. And honestly, if you're feeling like your team kind of just like plays mediocre and they don't really play with as much purpose as you'd like, or they're not really good at listening, or they're not paying attention the way you want it, it might be because they don't have a clear goal or a clear vision for your team. You know, write in the comments if this is maybe your team, so I can help you, you know, navigate this conversation. I'm always willing to answer questions in the middle of the live as well. I know I said at 3:25 I'll be answering questions, but if you guys have questions or concerns about this, let me know now and I'll be able to help guide you through this. But truly, having a goal, it really elevates everyone in the room. So with that, it's not quite a goal quote, but it is a quote that I heard and I really loved it. But if you think about, it says like, a rising tide lifts all the boats in the harbor. So when you think about a harbor, if you know what a harbor is, it's basically where a bunch of yachts or boats are kind of housed. And if the tide rises, guess what else rises? Well, every single boat in the harbor rises because the tide is rising. So if you yourself can be in pursuit of something bigger than yourself and you are like driven on this goal, think about this. If you're the one that's rising the tide and you're the one that's setting high expectations for yourself, therefore setting high expectations for your team, please note that you are elevating the harbor. And raise your hand if you feel like maybe this is you on the team, or you have somebody on your team that you know is that person and you can think of them right now. Because if you think about it, you can probably think of one person on your team, maybe it's you, that is in pursuit of something big and always has high expectations for themselves, always is pushing their teammates to the limit, always is, you know, being the optimistic one that says, you know, we're down by 10, but we can come back if we focus on one pitch at a time. Kind of like the mediator, the one, some people would call that person like the mother hen, making sure all the geese are the hen, all of the hen around them are rising to the occasion. If you are that person, or you know of that person, let me know. Maybe tag them in the comments or something, so they can kind of know that that's them, that's who you're thinking of. But think about that person kind of brings you probably a lot of joy. That person probably makes you think outside of yourself and makes you want to work for not just yourself, but those around you. If you can think of who that teammate is, and it's not you yet, you have the capability to be that teammate. And it's not as hard as you think. If you think that role is too big for you, I don't quite think that you're thinking in the right way. If you think that role is too big for you, that's because you have limiting expectations for yourself. And I'm here as your coach, Coach AB. Oh, I can't call myself Coach AB. That's what my friend Amanda calls herself. But Coach Ashley, like, I'm here to get you to think outside your comfort zone. And if it kind of scares you and you're like, I don't know if I can be that person, but you're being like called to maybe be that person, that's exactly who you should strive to be, is that person. Okay. So if you can think it, if you can dream it, you can be it. I firmly believe that with my whole entire heart. If you can dream it, you can be it. So if you want to be that person for your team who's making every single person around them better, it is very, very important that you have a clear and precise goal in mind. All right. And when I mean clear and precise, I mean you knowing that you're not in the place that you could be, but you're willing to put in the work to become that. So if you can think in your brain, you know, some sort of a goal, whether it's you know, hitting your first home run. A lot of people love that one. Obviously, we don't have a timeline for that because home runs always happen when we least expect it, right? But, you know, maybe hitting your first home run, or hitting 2 triples in a game, or just like doing something that's like bizarre but crazy cool, and you want to do that. Maybe it's playing D1 softball or playing for Team USA, which I talk about this also in the podcast. It's going to be launched on Wednesday. It's basically how to create a goal. So today we're not going to create a goal because some of you already have goals, but some of you are like, I need a little bit of help to like create one. I'm telling you right now, Wednesday's podcast is going to break down step by step how to create a goal and how to create a roadmap to your goal. So if you are in pursuit of something bigger than yourself, and maybe you have a goal but don't quite have the timeline, or not the timeline, but like the steps to get there, tune into Wednesday's episode, because it's really going to help you dissect what it is that you want. So at the top of the staircase, what it is that you want and what it is you're willing to do to get there, to help you elevate and get to that point. So that's Wednesday's episode. But today I'm kind of just hopefully getting you excited to want to have and play for something that's bigger than yourself. Because if you guys were listening earlier, it's just so all of those people around you can be better. And that's what we want. And those are what championship teams do. If you guys watch college softball, which I firmly believe, if you know anything about softball, college softball is some of the best softball to watch, which, by the way, they're airing some episodes on ESPN, Big Ten Network, ACC Network, a bunch of networks are actually posting some old games and some amazing games, incredible ones. They're also doing it on Facebook. So follow NCAA softball on Facebook and you can watch some of these. But you'll see like Oklahoma's on those games all the time. And it's not a coincidence. They are playing in the championship more often than most teams at this point. And it's pretty clear why, right? Have you ever heard of their hashtag championship mindset? Championship mindset is what they live by as a team. And so basically it's everybody on the team has adopted this championship mindset, and every decision that they make is in pursuit of a championship. How crazy is that? How cool is that? That, them waking up at 6 a.m. to do workouts 4 or 5 times a week, that's in pursuit of a championship. Them sacrificing their weekends to hang out with their team and get better as a team, that's a championship mindset. Them, all the things that they do in practice or all the things that they do in their games, it's all for one clear reason, and it's to get to a championship. So their goal is, everybody knows it. Everybody knows their goal, and it's to win a national title. And, to maybe you, and honestly, when I first heard that, I was just like, wow, it's a big goal. I mean, playing for a team that never really even played in a regional, that's a huge goal. And I can tell you, my team, we didn't have that goal of winning a national title. Our goal was to just make it to regionals. And that was what we played for. But, I can madly respect teams like UCLA, and I know, or UCLA, they also have the goal to win. But, teams like Oklahoma, their hashtag is championship mindset. So everything that they do and they say has to emulate that. And if they don't, that's where, maybe they'll do a punishment run because they weren't thinking in the championship mindset format or things like that. So that's how championship teams thrive. And I want to help you guys, come up with a big time goal. And that can either be individual goal, or you can listen to the podcast with your team and create a team goal. But with all these big time goals, and if goals and dreams, they scare you a little bit, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Your dream should scare you. Your goal should scare you. Okay. But if you want to get there, you can't just say, here it is, I hope I get there. You create it, and then you make a roadmap. You make like 3 or 4 tiers to where you are, to where you want to be, to make that goal happen for you. And the goal that you have, the first goal that you have, should be a little mini goal. And then another step should be another mini goal, and another one, and another one. So those championship teams that want to win a national title, like clearly Super Regionals is here, Regionals is here, and they kind of just like go down the line. And so in pursuit of the big thing, they want all these little things to help them get there. All right. So maybe they are, top of the stats in batting or hitting percentage, slugging percentage, whatever it is. Maybe that's a goal that they have inside there as well. But you have to be very clear and concise with what you want as a team. And that's for a team goal. And then you also have to be clear and concise for what you want individually for that to happen for you. So I will tell you, I have a big time dream and goal, and I'm not scared to tell anybody about it, but I want my own hitting studio. All right. Like legitimate. And I'm telling the whole world this, not many people knew this, but now y'all are my closest friends. And now you know what my big time goal is. Mine is to have my own hitting studio. And a studio that includes, hitting equipment, video equipment, because as most of you guys know, I do virtual lessons and virtual hitting academies with my academy members. And I'm coming up with crazy fun drills for you guys all the time. So having my own hitting studio is my dream. And also where I can like bring in some of my in-person lessons and we can work together. That's my dream. And so now you guys know that. So I don't have a hitting studio now. I actually live in an apartment. I'm saving up money. I'm making sure that what I'm doing and all the steps that I take each and every single day are in pursuit of my big time goal. Okay. So obviously that is not a team goal. That is, I mean, I do have team members that work for AB Training, and their content and the things that they're helping me create are in pursuit of the big time goal. But that's something that's on my heart. And, you know, I'm in charge of making that happen. No one is in charge of making that happen for me. I can't say, hey, dad, like, lend me some money. Let me do this. No, I would never want to have or make a hitting studio and somebody else just coughing up money for me to do that. That's not how I want to do this. I want to do this on my own and own this. So that when I do it, I feel all of this gratitude and all of this, you know, just knowing that the grind that it took to get to that point, it's worth it. So that's the fun part about having goals, y'all. And I haven't even tapped into that yet. But having a goal that's bigger than yourself and then achieving it is the ultimate motivation. Have you guys ever set a goal for yourself, whether it was little or big, and you know, you worked your butt off to make sure it happened and then you got there? Like, what did you feel? What did you feel when you got to that amazing goal? You probably felt so excited and relieved and thankful and grateful and just absolutely amazing. Like you could run the world. You're on top of a mountain right now. Well, if you want that feeling, you have to be willing to sacrifice. And you have to be willing to just say, I'm going to go all out on this one thing, and I'm going to make sure it happens. Well, that's all about what we're talking about today. It's having a goal and having something that you're after and you're in pursuit of, and you're going to do whatever it takes to make sure it happens. Now, I will tell you that when you're in pursuit of that goal, it's not going to be a clear cookie cutter line to that goal. It's going to feel, I saw a graphic once. It's not going to be like this straight line, you there. It's going to be like this sometimes. But as long as you just keep inching your way up the graphic, that's all that matters. So that's what it's like to have a goal. So if you don't have a goal, or maybe you have a goal, but you don't have a team goal, well, listen to my podcast that's coming out on Wednesday. It's literally the step-by-step process to creating a goal, how to create a goal. And yes, I'm going to throw in some motivation as well, but hopefully that today was a little bit of motivation to get your butt together and to put a goal together so that you can make it happen for yourself. Because that's my goal as a coach, is to help you become the best version of you. And if you know right now you love where you are, but you love even more where you could be, well, then it sounds like you need to come up with a goal for yourself, because you could be there if you actually put your mind to it. Those of you who have taken maybe my goal setting course, it's a 14-day course. It also helps you develop confidence by doing basically 30-minute tasks every single day to help set you up for a goal. If you guys have taken that, let me know in the comments, or let everybody hanging out with us know in the comments that you've taken it. I loved putting that together for you guys during quarantine, because I know y'all were like a little scared and nervous that, am I going to play this year? Some of you may not even have played this year. And if that's you, like, kudos, you are going through something tougher than any of us. And I have mad respect for you, because you're going to come out of this dang strong, just straight up. But if you've taken that course, let me know. What if we have the smallest goal, meaning like me being afraid to overthrow the ball, to overthrow, and it's holding me back from throwing the hardest I can. I meant me afraid of getting overthrowing the ball, and it's keeping me back from throwing my hardest. Oh, that's a really good question. I think her name's Brianna. So if your goal is to be able to throw without being nervous or being scared to do it, I would really recommend that you throw, let's say with your teammates, but you throw with some sort of like added pressure. Okay. Because you're not automatically just going to start throwing perfect in a game without practicing it. So I would recommend maybe put together a practice with like 2 or 3 teammates and put something on the line. Let's say like you don't throw it into the right spot. Okay, well, you have a down and back from the fence back to your position, and then you have to do another rep, and you just keep doing that, because you're going to have to figure it out, because you're going to be exhausted from running. And this is just me speaking from a coach's perspective. It's very, you develop confidence by doing something that you don't feel confident in at first, but you put in the work and you put in the reps, and then all of a sudden you're going to feel more confident doing it. For example, that's like me starting doing these lives 2 years ago, simply because I hated being in front of a camera. But I'm telling you right now, I love being in front of a camera now because I've simply put in the reps. So one, put in the reps, like keep working on the throws, like don't, and here's the thing, it's hard to not overanalyze it. But put in the reps, aim small. Okay. Aim small, go for like, I have like a sun here on my shirt, like maybe on somebody's shirt, aim for this tiny target and throw there hard. And if you miss the target and she doesn't catch it, like maybe you have it down and back, and then you have to get back into it. And it probably sounds tough, but that's the only way that we get out of our comfort zone. It's like we try things under pressure and we do it enough under pressure to where we get really good at it. I love making the defense look silly. Like for example, Kaylee Novak, who just commented on my Instagram, she said that, you know, when you hit a line drive or some sort of ball to left field, and let's say you notice that the left fielder is just nonchalantly just like chucking it in, but you took a hard round at first base and you notice, oh, she's just like floating it. Why don't we take two? Like, why don't we just automatically take two? Because she's not even thinking about you. She's thinking about, how can I field this cleanly and get it in fast, right? But if you can start thinking ahead and thinking, okay, what is this defender thinking? And like just making her look silly. Base runners, you can take so many bases and help you win more games. Like straight up. Base running is like, I freak out about it. If you guys want more information on base running, go to my YouTube channel. Just type in Ashley Burkhart Training. And there's base running 101 episode. So it's a former live that I've done. And it's basically base running 101. So anything base running you want to know, and how to be more aggressive on the base paths, go to that episode. I'll probably put it in the show notes, but go check out that episode. It will probably change your life as a base runner. If you're ever hesitant and you're not really sure when to go, it's basically like the most clear and concise reasoning behind why I just took bases like crazy. And did that mean I was perfect on the base pass? No. But I worked up to a point where I could probably confidently say, or not probably, I can confidently say, you know, if I stole a base 10 times, I was safe 9 out of those 10 times at least. And, you know, even with getting out that one time, I think the odds are in my favor and the stats are definitely in my favor. Obviously, I don't think that we should make some risky decisions if it's a close game and you're basically it when it comes down to, if you don't score, you don't win. Got to be a little more, let's say, not as aggressive in that situation. But then again, if a situation arises and you've practiced it enough and you've gained some confidence in, oh, I know when an athlete does that, I'm going, then you can do it whenever because you know you're going to be safe. So I love that Base Running 101 episode. Please, Keith, go check that out. I think you'll absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites of all time. Would you want to change something with your hitting if you aren't hitting any home runs, but you still hit 600? Okay, Savannah, this is actually a question I've never been asked before, but I thoroughly enjoy it. So hitting to me is not about stats, okay? Hitting to me is feeling good in the box and feeling like you're absolutely crushing the ball. So here's the deal. You can hit 600, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but you could essentially hit 600, and all you do is like hit weak ground balls that just like happen to get through the infield or just like plop over the shortstop. But if you don't feel good about those hits, then that 600 means nothing, right? So I would recommend that, you know, if you want to change something up in your hitting because you just don't feel like you're squaring it up the way you know you can, then yeah, make a change. Find a way to square up the ball better and to hit the ball harder. So this obviously is going to change for everyone. So for example, too, if you're a slapper, 600 could mean anything too. It could mean you're mostly getting on base with bunts. It could mean that you're not exactly like, you know, hitting the ball through the infield like you'd want as much. If there is an element of your game, whether it's hitting, defense, slapping, whatever, and you're like, I think there's something more in me, then heck yeah, girlfriend, find a way to get more out of your legs in your swing. You can never find too much. Okay. So if your goal is to hit a home run, which I do talk about this in the podcast on Wednesday too, then yes, you should probably be doing some leg strength and power workouts every single day. or not every single day, but every single week, multiple times a week. So you can gain that power and that strength in your legs. So if you know that you're hitting 600 and you know there's more in you, from the actual mechanics of the swing standpoint, yes, go find a way to get more power. Go find a way to get more confidence. Go find a way to hit more line drives. So that's what I'm going to say first and foremost is your pursuit in the box should not be to hit home runs, because if your pursuit is to hit home runs and you barely get under the ball, guess what happens? Pop-ups, no bueno, right? But my home runs, not one of them was I like, I'm hitting a home run here. Not one of them did I say I was going to hit a home run. I hit lots of home runs in my career because I was shooting for hard line drives. So shooting for hard line drives, making great contact, that's what led to home runs. So Savannah, if you want to hit more line drives and you want to hit the ball harder, then yes, add something to your game, leg strength and power. Go to my YouTube channel. I have tons and tons of just free drills that you can take to work on leg strength and power. Do that so you can elevate your lower half. So you can eventually get that home run, because you're in pursuit of hard line drives and hitting the ball hard. Yes. So that is all. Of course, I'm 15 minutes over the planned time. Is anybody surprised here? Is anybody surprised? Paige said, what is a good timing drill? Paige, go to my YouTube channel. I literally say all the drills that I have on there. It'll say like, this is for timing. This is for power. This is for connection, lower and upper half. And even on TikTok, guys, I have a TikTok. I have a few timing drills on there too. It's basically self-toss stuff, tennis ball work, things like that. So go check that out. I want to make sure you guys all know that that's available and that's there. But that's pretty much all I have. So y'all, if you didn't take anything away from today, take away this one thing: having a goal in mind and that you're in pursuit of, and that you remind yourself of every single day of your life, you will change your life. You will elevate your game, and you will elevate the game of every single person around you. And if that's what you want, and that's what you want, a better version of yourself, which I'm in pursuit of helping you find that, to rise to that person, you need to check out my Wednesday podcast, because it's all about how we create a goal. Okay. I will create a goal with you on the podcast on Wednesday when the episode drops. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel. Give me all the ratings you can give me. Give me all the feedback you can give me. I cannot wait to help make your lives better in the game of softball, with the knowledge that I have and the knowledge that people I'm going to interview are going to be on the podcast with. So I cannot wait to be a part of that. Cannot wait to have you there. If you felt like this episode really helped you, really changed your thinking, really excited you, or you are like, oh my gosh, my team needs to hear this, share this with your teammates, share this with your tribe. Your softball tribe might need to hear these exact words that I said today. So please do me a favor and share this episode with somebody else. Because if you share it with somebody else, we grow the game of softball, and that's what we all should be in pursuit of, right? Growing the game.